Hello and welcome to the Canon Sports Show, everybody. So today we have our first ASU football podcast. I'm very, very excited to talk about ASU football. I'm a big college football fan. I'm probably not gonna, in my podcast, focus too much on college football as a whole, just because, at least for right now, it's just like confusing and like there's just a lot of different teams to follow. But I don't know, maybe I'll change my mind and maybe I'll try and get more into watching a lot more college football this year and try and become more informed so that way maybe next year I can do that. But anyway, we're going to be talking about a lot of different things today, including some of the new coaches for ASU. Obviously, a lot of these guys were hired a while ago. A lot of these guys we're going to talk about that have been recruited to ASU have also been announced a while ago. But I'm still going to talk about them because I want to. So, let's talk about the hiring of Kenny Dillingham. I don't know if I said that like weird. I don't know. Dillingham. I'm really, really fucking excited for Dillingham. I think that he is by far the perfect candidate, or not candidate, the perfect choice to be our head coach. A dude that lived in Arizona for a lot of his life, at least. I think he went to high school here in Arizona. He's just a phenomenal guy. You can tell by the way that he acted when we first announced him as our head coach. He seemed very emotional to be here. He wants to be here. Why? Because ASU, this is his school. He went here. I'm pretty sure he got his first coaching gig here, or college coaching gig here. And so, he truly, you can just tell in the way he talks, the way he acts. He wants to be here. He cares a lot about this team and about this city, about this state. And I just really like him so far. And then he brought in some really good supporting roles alongside him. Brian Ward, Bo Baldwin, Rashad Samples, and then we retained Sean Aguano, which is huge for us as well. So Brian Ward last year was the defensive coordinator for Washington State. He's a really, really talented defensive coordinator. Because Washington State doesn't exactly get the greatest recruits, but they were really solid on the defensive side. He seems like he's a great recruiter as well, and shows the ability to get good players that want to play for him. Bo Baldwin, before coming to ASU, he was a head coach at Cal Poly. From what I can tell, he's a good mind on the offensive side of things, and has an impact in the recruiting in California. Rashad Samples, he was the running back coach for the Rams last season, and is currently our wide receivers coach. He has shown how good of a recruiter he is by getting some really good recruits out of Texas so far, and he's only getting started. And just recently, they just announced a pair of Texas defenders that are coming to ASU, I think 2024, and it's a big time right now. A big time right now to be an ASU fan. And then Sean Aguano, last year, was promoted to interim head coach after the firing of Herm Edwards. He did a great job stepping up at that time. He took a roster that wasn't great and made actually some pretty competitive games. And, he really helped a lot of those players develop still. And he's a good connection with a lot of the players. And has a really good recruiting presence in Arizona. So, something big to talk about. Obviously, we've talked about the recruiting already. Our recruiting in Texas, California, and Arizona is already better just by adding these coaches. As you can see here, are the recruits that we've gotten. We've gotten 6 each from California and Texas. You can say only 2 from Arizona, but if you look at a lot of the guys that we got to transfer to ASU, a lot of these guys are former Arizona high school players back in 2022, 2021, some 2020, that Herm Edwards couldn't get to come here, but that Kenny Dillingham is now getting to come here, which really shows how much of an impact he's already had in the Arizona high school community. And so the biggest thing as well too with these hirings is you see different energy surrounds the team now. I've seen so many videos of the team and just the way they act around the coaches. It seems like a fun atmosphere, but at the same time an atmosphere that's competitive, where they want to work. And it's truly incredible to see so far because this is a team that had a very rough season, and the fact that we've made this turnaround already is incredible. So let's talk about some of these recruits that we've gotten out of high school. Our biggest one, obviously, Jaden Rashada. He's a 4-star recruit coming out of California. He was nationally ranked 44th in the country. 6th ranked quarterback coming out of high school. He's huge. That's a huge guy to get. And especially with a guy like Dillingham, who was the offensive coordinator last year for Oregon. He's going to be able to work with this dude. He took, what, I'm going to completely mess up his name. Isn't it like Bo Nixon or something? A quarterback for Oregon, though, last season, who did really well, though, after struggling for a couple of years at Auburn. He's going to be able to hopefully take Rashada and make him into a really, really good quarterback for us. And I don't know, it's going to be really tough to decipher a lot of these other 3-star athletes that we have because at the end of the day, there's just a lot of 3-star athletes that, you can say, oh, okay, like, what separates them? But St. John Bosco's, that's a good school. Could be good. I remember CJ Fight being a guy that a lot of people were talking about. A lot of the upside with him. Like, we're going to have to see with a lot of these guys. I don't know a lot about most of these dudes. But again, considering how bad our recruiting classes have been, currently so I think this is our rank for just high school recruits, I think. Which is already better, though. That's not bad at all. But anyway, the recruiting out of high school is going to get better, too. This is for this season. Like, a lot of these recruits for 2023 had already committed to schools. We've already gotten some for 2024, which is big, but the biggest thing you have to understand, too, is the transfer class. 19th ranked in the country transfer was. That's huge. So, let's go over some of them. Drew, I'm going to fuck up his name. I don't know if it's Pine, or Pinay. I don't know. But this dude played at Notre Dame. He was their starting quarterback. He was a really good football player for them. Like, he did really solid for them. He was coming out of high school. He was a big, big prospect. As a transfer, coming out, maybe not the best prospect, but still, he's a proven dude, and he's going to compete for that starting position here at ASU. It's tough to say who's going to start for ASU next season at quarterback because they have Trenton Bourget from last year who actually did pretty solid. And again, with the right coaching staff, he could be really good. But Jaden Rashada, he's a really good player. And then this guy as well, he's going to be fighting for that starting position. Prince Norwa, edge rusher out of Texas. Coming in, he was a 4-star recruit. He's a really good player. Obviously, maybe not coming in, obviously, now as a transfer, 3-star. So maybe didn't do as well as at Texas, but considering how bad our defense was last year, this is going to be a huge pickup for us. He's most likely going to be our starting edge rusher, at least one of them. I'm very excited to see what he does for us next year. Aaron Frost, big offensive tackle prospect that we got. Our offensive line was not good last year, if we're being 100% honest. They were not good. So the fact that we're getting a dude that was recruited as a prospect, right, as a 3-star, and now as a transfer as a 4-star, we're getting someone who's good. It's going to be very exciting to see what this guy does for us. And again, we need offensive tackles, so getting him was huge for us. Clayton Smith, another edge rusher. This dude very much is going to be starting for us as well. As a prospect, he went in as the 3rd-ranked edge rusher in the nation. But he's coming out as a transfer, still ranked pretty well. He's still the 13th edge rusher in the transfer market, so obviously he did something there, but wasn't as successful. And where did he end up going, actually? I don't know. Oklahoma. That's right, yeah. And Oklahoma's a tough team to do well on, so it's going to be exciting to see what he does. I think he's going to get a lot of playing time here. Hopefully he can stay healthy, and just get some good stuff. But again, that's another one too. Texas. He's from Texas. Rashad Samples had something to do with getting this guy to come here. His recruiting in Texas so far has been unmatched. Xavier Alford. He was a safety, I believe, for USC, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Safety for USC last season. As a prospect, he was a 4-star, 15th ranked safety in the nation. Still a really good player. It's going to be exciting to see what he does. He's going to be starting for us next season. We've lost a lot over the last couple of years. A couple years ago, we lost a lot of guys due to them being seniors. Then last year, we just didn't have a great team as it was. And then a lot of guys also just left because they didn't want to deal with the clusterfuck that was happening here. But it's going to be exciting, though, to see what this kid can do for us. Bram Walden. I don't know if this dude's going to be starting for us at all. It'll be interesting to see, but I put him in here because, one, he was the number 1 recruit out of Arizona a couple of years ago. He's a really, really good player. And the biggest thing, too, that this shows, Kenny Dillingham has been able to get offensive tackle recruits. Or not offensive tackle, sorry, I screwed that up. Arizona recruits. He's gotten better Arizona recruits than Herm Edwards has. Dillingham is yet to coach an ASU football game, and he's already gotten better recruits out of Arizona than Herm Edwards was able to. That says a lot. And so I'm excited to see what he does. He may or may not start. I don't know, it'll probably be between him and Isaiah Glass is what I'm thinking, but we'll see what happens. And then Jordan Tyson, Colorado transfer. Came in as a 3-star recruit, now leaving as a 4-star transfer recruit. He was a big pickup for us, 6 feet tall. He did really well at Colorado. It's going to be fun to see him play for this team. I don't exactly know in terms of where he's going to be playing. I think he'll get some playing time next year. How much? That's obviously going to depend on how he does in practice and just throughout the season as a whole. But it's going to be fun to see all of these guys play, if I'm being 100% honest. Like, there's a lot of really good players. And I mean, like, I just picked, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 8, 7, 8 guys here. But, like, look through this. We have so many guys coming in. We have guys like Cameron Scotabo, who I think this might be a JUCO school. And he's coming in as a 3-star transfer. Like, we're getting a lot of really solid team. Jacob Conover, coming in from BYU. He was a very highly recruited kid out of high school, 4-star, coming in as a 3-star now, but like he's gonna be in the mix of fighting for a roster spot, or not a roster spot, a quarterback spot for our team. We have a lot of guys here that are going to be fighting for positions, yes. But it's going to be great for us because we've missed this. We have a transfer rank of 19th. That's incredible. And it's only going to get started. If we have a good season, I would want to pay attention to the transfer ranks next year because I feel like ASU is going to get some big names if they have a good season on top of their recruiting class. But I'm super excited for this season. I'm super excited to see this team play. I cannot wait. It's still a bit of a ways out, but I'm still really excited. Anyway, I think that's about all I wanted to talk about. There's not much else I need to talk about at this moment. Might do another one right before the season starts. Not exactly sure. But if not, my plan for ASU football podcasts are going to be weekly. So again, ASU will play like once a week. Besides, obviously, one by week. We'll be doing a podcast a week talking about the game, the upcoming game, who played well, who needs to play better, all that good stuff. Kind of similar to how I'm going to be doing my Cardinals podcasts. But yeah, I'm very excited to see this team play, though. But anyway, I think that's going to end the podcast for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Again, if you have any comments you want to make, obviously there's a comment section for that. If you have any, if you see any players here that I didn't mention that you think I need to take a closer look at, let me know. I would love to look more into some of these dudes. With college football, look how many guys are here. I'm not watching videos on all these dudes. I don't have that type of time. At least not now. But But yeah, if you guys like the video, like, if you guys wouldn't mind subscribing, I would really appreciate it. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all have a great day. And I'll see you guys in the next podcast.